Good morning, Santa Clara. Yay! It is Friday. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and our show, Eye on the Valley, is brought to you by School, a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. We've got a fully accredited online school that you're about to hear a lot about. A home study program as well called iLead Exploration. You know, we've designed our schools to be to meet the needs of what they make. Online school. We've got a home study. We've got a hybrid program, and then of course we've got our classroom-based campuses. Go ahead and check us out at our website .org for more information on whatever it is that your child needs for a free public education. That's our schools. So check us out at iLeadschools.org. So that's right, we keep our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation, but as well, bringing you everything that you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And you know, we like to goof, we like to giggle. So we've got some fun teed up for you as well, because you know, if I can't laugh while I'm doing it, I just ain't doing it. Wrapped up his show, he was talking about the weather. Have you been outside yet? It's already warm. It's a beautiful day out there. Going to be a hot one. It is, or is it summer? It's winter. It's summer. It has been weird and wacky outside. It is decidedly summertime to mid-90s this weekend. So there you have it. Mother Nature has finally decided. But don't at me on Tuesday. We're back in the gonna get cold again midweek. So this is absolutely crazy. But you know what? It's almost as crazy as my Tuesday afternoon. Tuesday was a business lunch up in Bakersfield. So left the office, drove up to Bakersfield, had some lunch, walked back out to my car, and it was 90 field, and it was 51 degrees when I got back to the office. That's a 40-degree drop in an hour and a half. 80 miles, 40 degrees. It was. I felt like, you know, when you drop an ice cube into a warm glass of Dr. Pepper. It just a great. Go ahead and move on. In hour number one, it is decidedly summertime in hour number one, because we're talking summer school. I get my hand slapped all the time. It's not actually summer school, but it's school that your kid can attend in the summer. So what's the difference, right? You're about to find out. You need to make up a course. You want to get ahead. You want to avoid that summer slide. You want to stay busy during the summertime. Well, listen to what Cindy Williams has to say about it. She's got a free option for you. That's right. Again, free public charter schools. iLeadonline is offering classes in the summer that any child can attend. And so that and then in hour number two, we've got the CEO of the Santa Clarita Senior Center coming in, Kevin MacDonald. It's been a banner month for the seniors, celebrating. They're walking around with their chests puffed out. You never seen so many seniors talking smack. It's been a great month for the Seniors Center. Kevin, you know, he's a great sport, so I'm sure he'll be willing to stick around and play trivia with Big T. See, if you don't know the show, my mom share my radio show with my big brother. So at the end of the show every week, he calls in. He's got trivia questions. He's got fun facts. He's got that life advice that Jen loves so much, and all kinds of silliness. So I can't believe that they pay me to do this. It's great. They pay me to hang out and talk. And there's Big T. He's texting right now. Leave me alone, T. I'm doing a radio show. But let's get to it. So back in 2015, can't believe it was almost 10 years ago, I was working at SCVi. I was the high school director. You might pronounce that principal. And, you know, from time to time, my students needed to take an online class, whether it was a class that we weren't able to offer at our brick and mortar school, or a credit recovery situation. You know, you fail your algebra class, you need to make it up, get caught up, whatever. Or, you know, a myriad of other needs. My kids would need to take an online class. And we used several different providers. We had a couple different providers that we used, but they were all the same, right? It was, okay, log in, read the material, take the quiz, hopefully you pass, you know, click, click, test, no teacher if the student needed support, no one to interact with, just some text on a screen and an occasional text. Um, you know, really not learning happening. And it was really frustrating for me as a school principal to see my kids take these classes. But then, in response to that need, along comes iLead Online. Using the same personalized learning model and project-based learning that SCVi has been known for 15 years now, that has become known across the state over the last decade and a half. And it was an absolute game changer for all the different needs that the kids had in online learning. In fact, I had one student. We didn't offer Japanese at SCVi, and so I had a student who studied Japanese. So he left his Spanish class, took Japanese at iLeadonline. I had another kid taking photography. Pretty soon they both started telling me that they were learning so much, they were having so much fun, and they both told me that they were getting closer attention. They were getting more personalized attention from the staff at iLead than they were sitting in class on campus with 26 other kids. Well, today, iLeadonline has just continued to grow. They boast an enrollment of several hundred full-time students. That's TK through 12th grade. Yeah, so if you think I'm talking to high schoolers, no, I'm talking to everybody, TK through 12th grade. Continue to be one of the most innovative schools in the country, helping students who are gifted, looking to make up some credit, working in the industry, or dozens of other unique situations. Cindy Williams is their lead academic coach, and she joins me this morning to talk all about it. Cindy, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Hi, Matt. Thank you for having me.
Of course, we always love having you on, Cindy. You've been with us for quite some time. Can you share a little bit about your journey with iLead?
Yeah, so I heard about iLead Lancaster actually when my oldest, I have 3 kids, when he was soon going to be going to junior high school, and I wasn't so sure about the junior high schools around me. And so we went and did a school tour, and really just from that tour, loved what iLead was showing, what it was about. And then I enrolled my kids to start the next school year. And during that summer, I applied to work there, was able to get a job, and I started with my kids. And I believe that was the 2014-2015 school year.
Oh, wow. You've been with us for a long time.
I've been with iLead for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So, Cindy, I mentioned how innovative iLead is, and I see your role as the real differentiator. I mean, there's so much that you and the rest of the team do to support students and provide unique pathways for everybody, regardless of what their needs are. But I see the academic coach as what truly makes iLead stand out, just head and shoulders above the rest. Can you describe what your role is as the lead academic coach at iLeadonline?
Sure. Do you want me to describe kind of what an academic coach is?
Yes, 100%.
First? An academic coach, so when you come to us as a full-time iLeadonline learner, you will have an academic coach. If you're in lower school, TK through 8th grade, your academic coach is also your main facilitator.
Mm-hmm.
In junior high, I guess you do have your science, maybe a couple others that you rotate through. But in high school, you're coming in and you're going to have all these different facilitators, one for every different class that you take. So you're also assigned an academic coach who is kind of your go-to person throughout your experience in your high school years with us, as long as you're with us. You do advisory with them. They're the ones that make sure and work with the college and career counselor that you're getting into the right classes, that you are on the right path for what you want to do after high school, that can just really, with anything that you need, you have that go-to person that whole time. And so it really makes a huge difference in helping our learners to be stressed, to stay engaged, to make sure they're getting what they want out of high school.
Okay.
As for myself,
yeah,
I'm the academic coach lead, and so I train new coaches. I'm doing my meetings with them, but most importantly, I'm just there every single day for whenever have questions, our learners need anything, I'm there to also help and support them every day.
Okay. So obviously, an online learning platform, especially in the basic primary, secondary grades, is quite different than what most people are used to. Cindy, what are some of the challenges that your students face in an online learning environment? And then how do academic coaches help your students overcome those challenges?
I would say probably some of the biggest challenges we see is just kids learning time management and just staying motivated, like self-motivated, because they're not going into a classroom every day, right? So they need to be making sure that they're opening up the computer or starting the computer and getting into their classes and just doing what they need to do. And so I would say that really the biggest challenge that we see at iLeadonline.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ask me? I apologize. Did you ask me what we do to help with that?
Yeah. So how do you help mitigate those challenges?
Well, I think the best thing and then what I love is our academic coaches really dive in with their learners, really work on getting to know them, their interests, how they learn best, and all of those things. So when you open up that communication with your learners, you're then able to really support them. Like, why might they be having a hard time?
Okay.
How do they learn best, and what can we help them to be successful, to want to every single day get in there, be doing work, and moving along. I think building a relationship and then just really seeing the needs of our learners and then acting upon those needs is really the best way to help them.
Yeah, and I can imagine, Cindy, that collaboration is plays a huge role in your job as academic coach, whether you're collaborating with parents or the students or the different academic subject matter teachers. So how do you collaborate with the teachers, with the parents, all the kids to ensure that succeeding?
Yeah, and academic coaches really is customer service a lot, right? And so it can be either just setting up meetings or phone calls, whatever the case may be, but the academic coach will reach out to the facilitator. Let's say a learner is taking a history class and maybe just struggling in it, or maybe not even struggling in it, but it's just not their favorite. They kind of have, different way of learning, or maybe they have a specific thing in history that they're really interested in, and you want to maybe build a special project around that. So it's really communication with the facilitator, talking to the learner, talking to the parents, and then making sure that classes that they're taking and what they're doing affects them. We're very much into personalized learning.
Yeah.
A learner can take the class as is, absolutely, and a lot of them just do that. But we are able to tailor and do projects and different things to help our learners.
And I love that, right? That was what I used to, those other programs that I referred to that some of my students were taking 10, 11 years ago, we referred to as canned curriculum, right? It's here it is,
Yes.
everybody gets the same, it's the same presentation, and there's no way to really change or make it any different. But the exact opposite of that, you first of all design the core classes to be very interactive and very interesting, and kids can modify it any way that they need to. But kids themselves are very, very different, right? You've got kids that can be very extroverted and excited about different things, and other kids maybe could tend to become disengaged. So what are some of the different tools that you use to make sure that you're effectively working with your students and keeping them engaged?
Personally, I would have a roster. I really love to just motivate really a lot of positive feedback, a lot of encouraging and things like that. But we, as iLeadonline, we have so many people and support and tools. We have free tutoring. We have a lot of one-on-one support that can happen. You can go to open office hours with any of your facilitators for support and help. We have college and career counselors, we have counseling, we have so many people and so many options to really just help a learner along, whatever their need may be.
Yeah, and that I was getting to, you're right. You've got a tremendous amount of resources. That college and career guide to help kids plan and map about their future into college and beyond. And then you mentioned also you've got social emotional counseling for kids that need support, office hours, tutoring. You mentioned it all. But the one thing that I think parents might stress out about the most is that lack of connection with peers and things like that. So, what do you all do online to foster that sense of community and connection among online learners? Is there an opportunity for them to interact with each other?
Yeah, absolutely. We have things like we have lunch bunches where different age groups can come in and have lunch through Zoom
Uh-huh.
with other kids. We have many throughout the school year in-person events that you can come to. High school, something I love, and I think the high schoolers do too, is you do have advisory weekly, just like that roster, but we will also, a couple times a month, do all high school advisories where every high school learner is on for that, and they seem to love that, get to know each other.
Well, yeah.
We also have clubs. We've really been putting in the work to build that community with the learners and let them have the opportunity to get to know each other and to not feel alone in the journey with us. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Cindy Williams is the lead academic coach for iLeadonline. When we get back, we will share about their summer program that I was talking about earlier that is, again, get this, free for all students. Yeah, your kids can enroll for the summer for free. It's a great way to make up courses, get ahead, just avoid that side, and you heard me right. Absolutely free. Stick around for more with Cindy Williams at iLeadonline. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. You know how on Spotify when you can back up and listen to the song again? I want to back up and listen to that commercial again. I could listen to that woman say garage all day long. You know, take your zebra out of the garage. Welcome back. Anyways, we're on the air. This is live. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson. You are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I am joined this morning by Cindy Williams, lead academic coach for iLeadonline, the most innovative in an online study from home experience where you as the parent don't have to do any of the instruction and it is completely free because charter free public schools. Anyways, Cindy, we were talking about the model of iLeadonline and how you provide just almost hyper-personalized educational experiences for each one of your kids. Again, serving grades TK through 12th grade. But, anytime I say online learn, think, well, I could never homeschool. It's not homeschool. Or they say, no, my kid didn't do well in distance learning in 2020. It's not distance learning. It's cutting edge, high quality, free public school online. That's all. But Cindy, people do still have their misconceptions. Those misconceptions that you hear from maybe your new families or folks that are maybe exploring. And then how does iLeadonline conceptions?
Well, I think that people worry about their kids having enough socialization, understandably, but as we talked about before the break, we talked about all the options and things that we try to do to let the learners be with other learners, have the opportunity to meet other learners and to be social, as like the infant events and clubs and all high school advisory and lunch bunch and things like that. I think also, and I even heard this actually when I was talking to a parent the other day who was thinking about having her daughter take a class with us this summer, and she said, oh, but I heard that, they won't get 5 credits. It's just like a pass or fail. And I was like, no, we're fully accredited, A through G, WASC accredited. We have CTE courses, AP courses. We have everything. We're, absolutely you get 5 credits. The transcript goes to your high school, back to your high school, and it's a great option for taking classes. So I know people sometimes worry about that.
Yeah.
Our classes meet standards. They meet all the standards learners need to meet while keeping it engaging and allowing them to hopefully enjoy the class. And as I said, we have CTE courses, we have honors courses, we have AP courses for our high schoolers. So we have a lot of options.
Yeah, you do have a lot of options, and that's one of the great things is you don't have to, lease a building and then, worry about how many kids are physically inside each class. It really allows you to get very, very, very creative. Like I said, you've got a variety of options when it comes to foreign language. But then you mentioned you've got AP classes, things like that. I was at your graduation last year, where kids were graduating 4.5, a 4.8 GPA, and
Hmm.
heading on to these prestigious colleges. You mentioned the college counseling before. And then, Cindy, I'm looking at your website right now. You guys have your CTE classes. For those who aren't familiar, those are like pathways. They're it's almost like taking a major in high school where you can graduate with a certificate of preparation in a different career area. Cindy, you've got about 20 different career pathways that you're
Yeah,
preparing
we have
kids
a
for.
lot.
Yeah, it's I'm looking here from sports medicine to education, just all different kinds of stuff. Anyways, Cindy, I've been promising our listeners to talk about what a lot of them pronounce as summer school. We're coming up on those summer months. It's going to be 95 in Santa Clarita today, Cindy. And while some of us are looking forward to just baking on the beach all summer long and hanging out, y'all at iLead Online are not. You guys get about 45 minutes off for a summer break, and then you come back. What can you tell our listeners about Track C?
Well, Taxi always begins the beginning of July, and it's an opportunity for any age from TK through 12th grade to take classes with us. For our, I don't know how much you want me to dive in yet, but
Dive in.
we
Dive
just
in.
offer the opportunity, and it's free. So even if you only plan to be with us during that July, beginning of August time frame, you can take this by enrolling with us as a full-time learner during that time period and take classes for free.
So, yeah, and that is, it's kind of a game changer, right? Because you do have, I was looking at your numbers the other day, Cindy. You guys have 55 kids who started out with us July 1st last year, or first week in July, and have completed the entire school year and are about to wrap up here in just a couple days, isn't it? That Track C ends. But then you also have some kids that join us for just the beginning in July and early August. They complete a semester of courses and then they head back to their home, their school of residence, and they've got a couple of classes out of the way. I had a friend whose son took a couple of classes over the summer, and she was, yeah, my kid needs to make up a Spanish class, and then he wants to take a math class to get ahead. And I said, why not try iLead Online? She says, no, he didn't do well in distance learning. I said, this is not distance learning. Try it out. And I literally had to kind of twist her arm to get her to sign her kid up. And she comes back to me. She says, this was a total game changer. This was absolutely incredible. He was engaged when he wasn't cutting the mustard because it was the summer months and he kind of wanted to play with his friends a little bit. She says, this coach, man, know that iLead Online has these coaches. They picked up the phone and called me and was like, hey, your boy's not getting his work done. I'm worried that he's not going to finish on time. It was fantastic. So, question, Track C, summer session, iLead Online, free public charter school. Is it just high schoolers to make up classes or get ahead, or what ages are we talking about?
So the TK through 8, we offer, one thing we offer is adventure course, and covers the core subjects for them in a class that they can take during that time period, and it's to help them maybe fill in gaps, prevent learning loss, or just to have fun. But something really fun that we have for our youngers is a clay world class.
Oh,
And
cool.
so in that class, we get to create sculpture clay while also touching on all of the core subjects throughout the class too. And it's really fun. Kids have seemed to really enjoy that in the summertime.
So it's wrapped around kind of that core learning with those core subjects, but it's designed to be a little bit more fun, where kids are getting their hands on, which I love that. How do you combine online learning with hands on? Well, y'all do. And you're sending adventure home. And, I know kids love getting their adventure boxes. And so that's TK through 8th grade. And then, yeah, high school, they're taking their online courses, whether it's have a lot of kids that are able to graduate early by taking a couple of those online courses.
Actually, my youngest daughter, she was a junior technically this year, but because of taking iLead online classes in the past few summers, she's actually graduating early. So she's graduating in June, a year early, because online classes in the summertime.
That is amazing. Congratulations to you,
Yeah.
Cindy, and to her.
Yeah.
That is that's awesome. So I'm looking at the calendar. July 1st falls on a Tuesday this year. And then you've got the holiday, 4th of July, on Friday. So are y'all starting Track C the 1st of July, or are you starting, what would that be, on the 7th, the Monday that follows the holiday?
July 1st, I believe, is our first day.
Okay, fantastic.
The 4th will be a holiday, obviously, but
Certainly,
start,
but because they're online courses, you work at your own pace. So, because I know a lot of families think about that. Well, I don't know, because we're planning a vacation. We're going, back to the Midwest to visit family. Okay, fine. You can have your kid log on from, St. Louis when you're visiting family anyway. Or, just wait till you come back on the 7th. It's self-paced. So, you talked about the adventure courses for TK through 8th grade that are a lot of fun, hands-on, helps that learning loss in the summertime, keeps your kids engaged, keeps them out of trouble. But let's talk about maybe the high school courses. What are some of the courses that you're offering in the summer this year?
We try to offer as much of our course catalog as we can.
Okay.
I mean, we have all of our math courses, our science courses, our ELA English courses, our history courses. We even have our visual performing arts. We have electives. We have our foreign language. We have so many options, and I would say probably most of our catalog is available to take during that period. So it's just a great way, as you said, to, if they need to make up a class, like they want to get a better grade, or maybe they want to get ahead, whatever the case may have, those options for learners. And then you would just order, if you're not staying with us, then you would just order a transcript to be sent to the high school. So that way the high school then gets that transcript with the grades to be added.
So I want to drill down on that just to highlight a little bit. You said if you're not staying with us, because you do have quite a few learners that join us July 1st. Maybe they make up a class or two, and then they stay with us through May, and they complete the school year and continue on with us, and they graduate from iLeadonline, and they go on to great college and career experiences. But you have a good number of kids that join us just for the summer, right? They enroll in Track C.
Yeah.
They don't have to leave their high school of residence. They enroll in Track C. They'll take a class or two, just my friend's son did last summer, and then they take our transcript, go right back and start up in the fall with their school right down the street, and they just submit their transcripts, and they're a class or two ahead. So you can do that as well. And again, Cindy, what's the price tag on this?
It's free. You're a full-time iLead online learner with us.
Right.
Absolutely.
And you say full-time, but it could also be just that summer for Track C. All these classes are
time during that time period. Absolutely.
Yep. And there is an asterisk there, right? It is free as long as you live in LA County, Orange County, Kern County, San Bernardino County, or Ventura County. We can serve any TK through 12th grade student free of charge in LA and contiguous counties. It's a great deal, so why would you not? So Cindy, you mentioned they enroll, they take the class, then after the summer they can go back to their regular school, or they can continue on with you. What's the enrollment process like? How would folks go about doing that? Okay, I'm convinced. Free summer school classes for my kid. I'm going to enroll him in iLeadonline Track C. How would they enroll?
So go to iLeadonline.org. From there, you're going to go to Enroll, and then you're going to choose Track C July start. You'll go through that. This part is a kind of a quick enrollment. Give your information, your child's name on our list, and then we'll be reaching back out to you with a spot where then you will finish registration.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, there is a little wait time, so folks need to be patient. Fill out your application. Don't worry, you still got a few weeks before July starts, and then the enrollment team that is phenomenal customer service out of your enrollment team, Cindy, and they will get your kids enrolled. Step-by-step process. Again, the website is iLeadonline, and then once they enroll and complete their courses, they're not locked year and stay the whole year if they want to. And a lot of families decide to stick with us, but they can go back to their regular school after they've completed a couple courses in the summer, right?
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, some learners love their experience. Some kids love their experience with us and want to stay. But for those that don't, like, that's okay. We make as long as you finish your courses and your classes by the day before your school starts, we will unenroll you, and it will not make registration or enrollment at your school that you go to for the remainder of the school year.
Fantastic. Cindy, total game changer. A little bit of a confession time here. In high school, I always did pretty well in school, and I was on that college track, right? And I was looking toward bright things in my future. Geometry really tripped me up. I was always good at math, but geometry threw me off, right? Because like they would show me these two triangles, and they would say, "Are these two triangles equal?" I'd say, "Well, yeah." And they'd say, "Well, how do you know?" And I would say, "Look at them." And they would say, "Well, prove it." And that one just threw me off. So I got a D in the second semester of geometry, and they wouldn't let me go on to the next level of math, right? And so I had to repeat that second semester of geometry. Had to wait a year, and so when I completed high school, I only had those 3 years of math, and just that fact, that one semester in geometry, really limited my college options. And now, it does turn out there is a happy ending for the hero. I did get my college degree, but it was a struggle for me. It would have been a huge game changer if I were to say, no sweat, I'm going to iLeadonline. I'm going to pick up that second semester of geometry, and I'm going to get back on track, and I'm on my way to Harvard or wherever else it was going. So it helps kids get back on track. Like your daughter, Cindy, helps kids get ahead. She's graduating a year early. Or, like you said, it's a great opportunity for kids to get involved in something that's fun, engaging, keeps the learning going during those hot summer months. So I want my listeners to head on over to your website and just peruse the course catalog. Love that you put the course catalog online. Families can look through. One of the confusing things, though, and I want to warn families, you've got a price tag next to these classes. And I've been telling people that they're free. Cindy, can you explain why there's a price classes?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you are not wanting to be with us as a full-time learner, and when I say full-time, taking classes during the July-August time frame, you could take like 1 or 2 classes and be considered full-time, so it's free. But if you don't want to enroll with us as a full-time learner for 2 different reasons. One, maybe you just want to take one class, you want to just pay for it on your own, you can absolutely do that. That's the price. You just pay for the class. Or if you live outside one of our counties, so you can't be a full-time learner, you can also just pay for the class and take it that way. And then also sometimes we have learners who come from different homeschool programs where they receive that money to be able to pay and take classes through different areas or places. And so then you would take your money, I forget what it's called, but you would take your money that you get from your homeschool, from your school, and then you can pay to take classes with them.
Okay,
so that's only reasons why you would have to pay.
Okay, so if you're that homeschooler that's looking to use your educational funds to purchase a class or two, that's why the price tag. Or I know, for example, in the state of Arizona, their charter school laws are really super flexible, so you actually enroll quite a few kids, a class or two, who live and go to school in Arizona, but they have to pay for the class. Or, let's say you're going to Granada Hills High School and they don't offer they want to take photography, then they can pay for that class. But again, if you live in LA County or any one of the counties that touches LA, you can enroll your child for free for the summer months and just take a class or two. Don't worry about the price. Get on the website, check out their catalog, and see if you want to enroll in a class or two this summer. Again, completely free. Pretty much, if you can hear my voice, completely free. So, Cindy, one more time, can you share with our listeners how people enroll in Tracy's classes free of charge at iLeadonline?
Yes, go to iLeadonline.org, go to Enroll Here, and then use the Track C July Start and fill out your information.
Fantastic. So, check it out and go to iLeadonline.org, click on Enroll, start the Track C July start, and keep your kids engaged, keep them moving forward. Cindy Williams is the lead academic coach for iLeadonline. Check them out one more time at iLeadonline.org and enroll today, whether you're going to enroll full-time and take it all the way through the end of the school year, or just in the summer months, take a couple of courses and head attendance. That is completely fine. It's completely free. iLeadonline.org. Cindy, thank you so much for your time. You have a great weekend. Stay cool.
Hey, you too. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Cindy. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. When we get back, we got a new Pope. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. Happy Friday, friends. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. And you saw it. We've got a new Pope. And this time, it's an American Pope. This is a game changer.
First time, right?
Wow, first time in history.
Making history.
We got an American Pope. Yesterday, he was Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost. Today, he is Pope Leo the 14th. First time in history, yeah, we've got an American Pope. Pope Leo the 14th is a native. Everybody's freaking out. I heard somebody mention yesterday that maybe now we can get some decent pizza in Rome. But
we knew that joke was coming.
Absolutely, and there's been memes all over the internet of the Pope, wearing his papal crown and sash and board shorts, or the Pope in his Bears sweater and the big old Chicago mustache. People are posting pictures of him in Little League, which is, I think, really cute. I don't know that we've ever seen a Little League photograph of the Pope.
Yeah.
No, he was wearing just a regular baseball cap. That'd be kind of cool, though, if he was, wearing the papal crown while he's playing shortstop. He's a graduate of Villanova, and so, yeah, people are like, oh, my gosh, this is so relatable.
Yeah.
Right? He grew up in a suburb of Chicago, and he went to Villanova. He played baseball, and now he's the flippin' Pope. I don't know. Am I going to go to hell for saying flippin' Pope?
I don't think so.
Okay. So
we'll go to hell for other things.
I do have a couple of questions, though. So first off, Jen, are you Catholic?
I am Catholic.
Oh,
yeah.
you are? Okay.
Yeah.
So this
I'm
is...
not a very good Catholic. No. I'm an Easter and Christmas Catholic.
Okay.
To my mother's chagrin, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So sometimes those are referred to as CEO Catholics.
Yes.
I've heard of CEO. So Christmas and Easter. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, but this is your spiritual leader.
Yeah.
And do you get into the drama of, okay, somebody's locking the Cardinals in a room and they can't get out until they start smoking?
I appreciate I appreciate the drama.
I'm pushing it.
I
Okay.
do think it's kind of, I mean, you're watching history. And I like the kind of fanfare, that they put around it, and it's exciting, It's exciting to see.
It is a thing, and I was thinking about it yesterday. And for me, I'm not Catholic. I was baptized Catholic, but grew up in the Protestant faith. But to me, it seemed a little bit like Americans' interactions with the royal family. Now, do you get excited about the royal family?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I mean, I'm aware of what's going on, and there's drama with the pretty brunette girl, and I kind of just, I'm on the periphery of that, but yes, kind of, little side eye on it a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Not too much.
No,
though.
I give it the side eye myself.
Yeah. Deserving of that, I think.
Sure, sometimes it is, but it always fascinated me how excited Americans can get when the king or queen to visit, or when the Pope comes to visit, or when there's a new monarch, right? The Queen passed away, what was it, a couple of years back, and England has it. We've got a new king. No, we haven't had a king in 250 years, friends. And when there's a new pontiff, the new Pope gets elected, and I get the same type of curiosity. Why do we as Americans care so much about the British royal family? And why do so many non-Catholics get so excited about a new Pope? It was, like I said, almost 250 years ago that we threw off the British monarchy, said we wanted nothing to do with your king, but we seem to adore them so much. And it's interesting, I looked this up yesterday, only about 20% of Americans currently identify as Catholic, which is actually down 2% from 1960 when everybody was freaking out that John Kennedy was running for president, and will America actually elect a Catholic president? Well, there were more Catholics in the country percentage-wise back then than there are today, and yet we still get so excited about the royal family, the papal election. So yesterday, I followed the advice of my spiritual leader, Ted Lasso. And I got curious and not critical. So to the world's leading authority on all things like this. Yeah, that's right.
Big T?
No, ChatGPT.
Close enough.
Oh boy, that one threw me. No. So I went to the old AI machine, right? And I just popped it into ChatGPT, and this is what I got. I actually had a nice. Do you do the AI a lot? Are you hanging around with artificial intelligence?
I do not. No, it's not that I'm against it. I have not found a reason to utilize it yet.
Okay. So I use it pretty much every day. I use it for quite a bit. As a matter of fact, and just a little bit of a side, I use it to help me with my work quite a bit. It does a lot of pre-writing for me. I've started using AI travel agent. It's an amazing travel agent.
Find me a
this is where I'm going.
To there.
Well, yes, it can, but that's that's easy to do.
Yeah.
First time I did it was last year when I went to Yellowstone, and I said, "Hey, I'm going to Yellowstone. I've only got 3 days. Make me an itinerary." And so I looked at the itinerary and I said, "Wait. I'm staying in the north, not the south." And it said, "Oh, okay. Here's a better itinerary." It's really amazing. It is a personal assistant.
Yeah.
So anything that you would ask of a personal assistant, other than "Can you get me some coffee?" is so. Anyways, so I went to the AI machine yesterday and said, even though the U.S. revolted and declared independence from England, Americans seemed fascinated with the British monarchy, and even though most Americans consider themselves Protestant, why are we so fascinated with the papacy? Why is that? And it says this is the response I got from ChatGPT. It's a really interesting observation, isn't it? Graphics, that fascination definitely exists. I think there are a few key reasons why Americans might hold this seemingly contradictory on the papacy. What do you think are some of the reasons? What do you think AI came up with?
I would guess that it's kind of more of like, and I don't this lightly, like a fantasy. Like this is, you want to see how the royals literally live.
Okay.
So it's kind of in. I think because they don't live how we live.
Interesting. Very interesting. So yeah, that was one of the reasons ChatGPT came up with a lot and actually categorized the different reasons. So one of the things it came up with was the sense of the other or the exotic, right? There's different systems. We're accustomed to our democratic republic and the idea of hereditary power is interesting and unique. And then there's also that mystique and aura, right? That you talked about outside of the daily experience of most Americans. They can carry that mystique. It also talked about like the allure of history, ceremony, right? It is this thing that's been going on for hundreds, in some cases thousands of years, right? Where we know that we're witnessing living history, right? So we've got Pope Leo the 14th. Okay, who are the other 13 Leos, right? Spectacle and pageantry of the smoke and the coronation of a pope or a king, or and the parades and all the different things, and like the papal guard was out there and they were ready and they looked really, really cool.
Do you think that people do that about when we elect a new president? Other parts of the country?
It's interesting. I don't know that it's for the same reason. I think the fact that America has influence on the rest of the world, people do get certainly interested when we elect a new president. They get involved in our elections, and I have lived out of the country when we've elected a president, and folks definitely get involved. They ask me about it. They pay close attention, but it really does have a tremendous effect on their lives, even though they don't care. And then there's the media saturation, the storytelling, the drama, and then kind of just the symbolism, right? So it is interesting. Like I said, we've got a new pope, friends, and he's from Chicago. So hot dogs tonight. All right, we got to get out of here, but don't go nowhere. Coming up next, we've got the CEO of the Santa Clarita Senior Center, Kevin MacDonald, coming in. I am Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Joining me now is Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Valley Senior Center. Kevin holds a degree in business administration from the University of Dayton in Ohio and an MBA from UC Berkeley. Throughout his life, Kevin has worked serving others, and in July of 2016, he came to the Santa Clarita Senior Center as their new CEO and has done nothing but expand their services, increase their visibility, connect with the seniors in our community, and lead a team of absolutely spectacular employees and volunteers who accomplish virtually impossible every single day in our community. He is truly the salt of the earth, and nary a citizen of this town would have a negative word to say about him. Kevin MacDonald, welcome back to Valley.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Good to have you. We were talking about it last break. You were raised Catholic. What do you think about the new Pope? Are you excited to have an American Pope?
I think it's just happy to have a Pope.
That's good. That's good. We went a few days popeless.
Been a little while, but to have a new leader, sure. I think the whole world looks at it as a new opportunity, power and influence of the world. And, you know, from what I've heard and what we've learned in the last 24 hours, a man of humility and who wants to open the world up and be a friend to all and be a bridge. And that's just, how can you go against that?
Fantastic. Yeah, it would be kind of rough to elect a pope who was kind of arrogant, selfish, kind of codger. Yeah. So.
And you got a Villanova grad, so you're going to do okay.
There you go. You couldn't go wrong there.
Villanova's very happy this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get back to the senior center. As the CEO of the Santa Clarita Senior Center, talk to our listeners about what your primary responsibilities are. What's your typical day look like, Kevin?
As CEO, you know, Matt, it's a great job. It changes every day.
Okay.
And we're going through everything from, I'll be working on programs. You know, we have 12 different services, so there's going to be challenges and expectations with those, and some planning for how do we make ourselves better as an organization and better services for our seniors. There's a financial obligation, keeping us okay. Yeah. There's a fundraising branch to it, community relations, even case management, one person at a time, and people come into the office and we'll talk about how to solve a senior's issues. Okay. So it's really, it's a wonderful job because it's so diverse. And as you mentioned, with my spectacular staff, as you call them, which is thrilling. Yeah. With 120 staff and 200 volunteers, you're always dancing around and trying to meet their needs, because if our staff are happy, then the seniors will be happy and so on.
Absolutely, and it translates. And you talked about the variety of different services going on at the center every day. I've spent time at the center during a regular business day, and there is on. We'll get into some of those services in just a little bit, but what brought you to the Santa Clarita Senior Center? What inspired you in specifically the Senior Center?
It was kind of a whim. I had been with the same organization serving people with disabilities for 24 years, and happy with them, and just had a wonderful time, and then to build a new senior center. And that was kind of the trigger. And when I came up, I had an interview with your mom and Elizabeth Hopp, and with Peggy Rasmussen in town, and that kind of sold me when you're having those powerhouse ladies interviewing you, and it kind of all worked out.
Interesting. I didn't really think of it that way. The previous times we've talked, it's kind of the reverse of the Field of Dreams kind of thing, right? If you come, we will build it. Yeah. Right. So fantastic. Yeah, great opportunity to build the new center, and with it, all these amazing programs and services.
They wanted to make this nonprofit bigger and better. And when I saw that in the eyes of the board members who were trying to recruit somebody, and all of a sudden we had a match, because I wasn't after anything else but to make it a little bit better for the seniors of the Santa Clarita Valley.
Yeah. Yeah, that is awesome. But can't be without its challenges, right? You mentioned all the different moving parts going on, and you alluded to it before about trying to help seniors get what they need. What are some of the biggest challenges that you facing the seniors in our community, and then how do you and your team step in to help get them over?
Well, you know, I think it's any challenges for any human being, right? Loneliness. Isolation, because as we get older, we lose more people in our lives. And, you know, the senior population is anywhere from areas between 60 years of age and 100. And they're going through different phases of their seniorhood, you could say, right? So that's what and get a house, introduce them to new friends. It's almost like high school all over sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, getting that, the fellowship. There are nutritional needs. People are not well. We are a nutrition center. Every single meal is going by the guidelines of good nutrition. And people just need a helping hand. Some people need caregivers. Sometimes they're getting older than they are, and they have challenges there, and they just want to reach out.
Yeah.
And I still think every senior just needs somebody. And we provide that opportunity to meet someone, to hang out with someone. And also, if you need professional services, our social workers are some of the best I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I sat in a meeting with them just the other day, and they're one issue at a time for a senior. And different that they run through that you can go to Bella Vita. It's a hub. Everything is basically for free, and you can come and get what you need there. And that's what we want to be for our population.
Yeah, you mentioned that is the name of the center. Well, I was going to say the building, but it's much more than just a building. It's an entire center that.
It's kind of taken its own name. You know, Bella Vita means for life.
Yes.
And when we built the building, we didn't want it to be a senior center. We wanted it to be something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So we named it Bella Vita. So you're not going to your father's senior center.
No,
you're going over to Bella Vita.
Exactly. It's kind of like a country club.
And to have a beautiful life.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
That's what it's all about.
And it does have that kind of country club feel, right? You check in, there's people playing games, there's music and great food and all different kinds of stuff.
We don't want to be a senior center, but we are.
Right. No, club for seniors.
There you go. Good description.
So you and I have attended a couple of events recently where a lot of different nonprofits have come together. There's a lot of intersection. There's tons of nonprofits in town. How do you all collaborate with other organizations and community partners in order to better serve the senior population in town?
You know, it's really wonderful community of nonprofits, and I know a lot of the CEOs in town, and we lean on each other when we need to, and we just pick up the phone, and that kind of communication, when you don't see yourselves as competitors, but kind of collaboratives with the group, even with the Boys and Girls Club and Child and Family Center and Sam Dixon Center and some of my other colleagues, and Bridge to Home as well. It's like, if they need something, we're there for each other. And that's really, really fortunate. If I need resources or they need resources, it's just that phone call away. And then we also work with the city quite a bit. The city has been so supportive of seniors, and if we didn't have them, we wouldn't be around. Yeah. And they have been so. Anytime I need something from the city or they want something from us, and it's just working together for the betterment of the seniors. And when you have that pure mission at heart, things tend to work out. And when you have that, all you have to do is make life better for seniors. Things will work out.
Yeah. We really do live in a great community, and that sense of community where folks pull together and do what needs to be done to make sure that everybody's thriving is just a beautiful thing.
And they have some, they also have some wonderful ideas. We're all kind of connected. We're all worried about our fund, of course, this year.
Yeah.
So we're connecting with each other. What did you hear? What did you hear?
Okay.
I'm in touch with national organizations that they're not in touch with, and trying to find out what's happening on the federal level.
Yeah.
The governor's May revise is coming out this week, so we're looking forward, or not looking forward, to what that's going to look like, and how the governor is going to work that in that revision of his January budget.
Okay, so let's get into that now that you mention it. Anybody that goes out to the center realizes it's a beautiful place that provides top quality services every single day. Can't be cheap. So where does your funding come from?
A lot of it comes from the federal government. It's called the Older Americans Act, a great law passed back in the 70s.
Okay.
And it provides nutrition and other services for seniors. So we rely on the federal government funding a lot. And that's nutritional meals that we do. And they pay a portion of it. They don't pay 100%. So we have to do our fundraising for that. So a lot of it comes from there. And then it stops in Sacramento for a little while. So we get some money from Sacramento. And then we get support from the city. And the administrator of all this is the county is the administrator for a lot of the funds from the federal government.
I see.
So people think it's county money, but it's really the administrators of all the money coming down from the feds. And they do a great job with that. Catherine Barger's office is always there for us. And we are fortunate in many ways. But it's a tricky funding model. Yeah. And but nothing's for free. Everything costs something.
Right.
And then as a nonprofit organization, we have to fill the gap every year. And we fill the gap of between $900,000 and $1 million in what we would be short, even with all this support from the city and the county. And that's what you sign up for when you're running nonprofits.
Yeah.
You're going to have to raise some money every year to make ends meet.
Yeah.
But we also have, the support of this great community and supporters of the individuals like you and your family and everybody else that supports a senior center in so many ways.
So let's talk about those services, because like I said, I had heard great things about the center, and you mentioned my mom sits on the board. She would talk to me about all the different services. But that first time I toured Bella Vita, shortly after you guys opened, my jaw really dropped. It just blew me away. All the different things that you're doing all at the same time. So can you just give us an overview of some of the diverse programs and services that you offer at the center?
Sure. Today we're offering up to 30 different classes. So people can come in between 8 and 5 and take a Zumba or Tai Chi or Sit and Be Fit, various exercise classes. As we're speaking, they're in the gym right now, working on some gym activities, doing some dancing with the Zumba. So all those different classes. And then in the afternoon, Friday afternoon, it turns into a card palace. There are card games everywhere, and from Mahjong to all the other card games.
Nice.
So it's building that sense of community with our classes. And upstairs, like I said, I had a great opportunity this week to sit with my social workers. So when you put me in a room with 15 social workers, and I'm jumping up and down in the back saying, oh, they're such good advocates. They're fighting for individual clients one at a time.
Nice.
And then they also have support groups. So people who are grieving, they can come to the senior center and join one of our support groups.
Okay.
And that's an important part. And then we also have health and wellness lectures during the week. So every week we can sit down together and we bring in a professional from Henry Mayo, from UCLA, and they talk about wellness issues. So that's some of it. And then there's just so much more. There's a handiworker program, which a lot of people don't realize, that the city funds.
Yes.
And we're fixing about 80 homes for low income and seniors as well, fixing up their ramps, their stairs, their bathrooms, their flooring, and different things like that. And there's just, and then nutrition. We have the largest Meals on Wheels program in LA County, because we're covering Antelope Valley with 500 meals a day, and also Santa Clarita Valley with 500 meals a day.
Yeah, that was another thing that floored me. I didn't realize y'all went out and served so many folks in the Antelope Valley.
Yeah, we have like 50 vehicles altogether, so we're running a transportation company.
And I see you guys on the road all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then at Bella Vita, today is Salmon Day. Don't tell your audience there's salmon at the senior center today.
Okay.
But we're doing that in honor of our mothers.
Okay.
So the mothers are getting a flower today, and they're getting a nice sandwich lunch. So we're going to spoil them rotten today.
Love that.
Yeah. So we're going to have, we'll serve 2,400 meals in the Santa Clarita Valley today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that is phenomenal. So, and that's not to mention all the different classes. Y'all were helping folks get ready for their DMV renewal when I was there, and there was y'all had a Wii bowl, not just Wii bowling, a Wii bowling league.
Yes, it's an international league, man.
An international league.
Like an international Wii bowling league.
Okay.
So let's not forget that one.
I love that. Yeah.
The other thing I want to mention before I forget is our adult day program for folks with Alzheimer's.
Yes.
We have a great program. We have a waiting list for it, but it's run by Cassandra, who does a wonderful job with our folks, and it gives families a respite. You're dropping your loved one off at our place from 10 to 2. We serve them lunch for everyone else, and they have some activities, and it gives the caregiver, who is a main player and all, to give them a break during the middle of the day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that program's growing. That need is, I'm hoping, other buildings someday just for folks who need the Alzheimer's Day program.
Wow, that's incredible. What an amazing heart. What tremendous vision. So all these different services, and we've just scratched the surface. I know that. There's so much more, and I've heard you and I've heard other folks from the center say, look, if you're sold or over, if there's anything at all you need, pick up the phone, call us, and we can help in one way or another. So so maybe that's a start to the answer of my next question. If somebody does need some support, where do they go? How do they get connected with the center?
The easiest way is to drop in. I mean, we're open Monday through Friday from 8 to 4:30, and you can get a tour right on the spot. So if you walked in and you said, I need to know something about the senior center, our staff will stop what they're doing and give you a tour and explain the different service options and sign you up if you want to.
Okay.
And like I said, the classes are, we charge $3 a class, but besides that, all of our services, there's no charge. So our goal is to be a welcome center for everybody. So the first thing is to walk in the door. If you don't want to do that, give us a call. You can also check out our website, which is new and improved website, brand new. We launched a few weeks ago.
Okay.
And that's SCVseniorcenter.org.
SCVseniorcenter.org.
Right.
Okay. And then you mentioned people do need, because it is very much a country club feel, people do need to be members. What is it?
No. There is no membership. No
membership. Well, you said sign up.
You are all welcome. Or you can classes, of course.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay. So folks just roll on in and can.
Yes, we're here to serve.
Oh, fantastic.
And we want to take down those barriers. So that's why I kid about membership
Okay.
day. But no, it's we want to take that in as barriers. You walk in the door, you're part of our family.
Fantastic. That is absolutely phenomenal. Kevin MacDonald is the CEO of Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, meeting the needs of seniors across the Santa Clarita and Antelope Valleys. Absolutely amazing. When we get back, I mentioned earlier when you and your staff and the seniors have just been strutting around with your chest puffed out this week because you guys have been celebrating some amazing accomplishments the last month or so, and awards and milestones and accolades, and I want to talk about that when we get back. Stay tuned. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. You're listening to your hometown station, KHTS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you are listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. Happy Friday. It is a fantastic, beautiful Friday out there today. Going to be warm this weekend. I am joined this morning by MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Kevin, before the break, you were sharing some of the incredible services that you and your team provide for seniors. And you guys have really been celebrating this month. It has been a banner month for the Senior Center. Let's start with, you mentioned how a lot of your funding comes from the federal government through the county. You get some funding from the state government. The city is a great partner, but you really do rely on fundraising, donations, and things like that. You had the biggest annual event just a few weeks ago. I'm talking about Celebrity Waiter. For our friends that don't know about Celebrity Waiter, first of all, where the heck have y'all been? You need to check out the Senior Center Celebrity Waiter event, one of the best events in our town every single year. Can you tell our listeners what the event is? And I know it's kind of transformed a little bit over the last few years. Talk about Celebrity Waiter.
Sure. You know, it's when the community comes together, they come to Bella Vita, and we share a meal together. That's the simple part of it.
Yeah.
But it's also our main fundraising event. And over the years, Celebrity Waiter used to be, members of the community, be actually waiters at the tables.
Yes.
And people would dress up in costume. And that's transformed a little bit. We hit the COVID years, and we made it a little bit different. And now we're honoring our celebrity waiters are really our volunteers.
Yes.
So it really turns into a volunteer thank you as part of our big fundraising. And we bring in a great band. We cooked all the food at Bella Vita. Staff, our culinary team comes together. They're excited to serve, 300 seniors in that ballroom this year, we did. And it's an exciting day, and with a live auction and everything else, it's all to support the services of the seniors.
Yeah, and like you said, it's all of it is prepared there in the kitchen at the Senior Center, and y'all knock it out of the park.
Oh my goodness! They did an airline chicken. It was killer. It was that good. Chef Cindy Smith and Marco Rios put it together with our team and our servers. We're our servers that serve every day, and they were faster than anything. Every plate was hot. The dessert was a New York cheesecake for dessert. I'm still thinking about it.
Knock it off. Okay. And so every year the event is themed, and that makes it a lot of fun. And what I love about it is it's not another one of those community events that you have to put on a tie to go to. You get to kind of down and have some. What was this year's theme?
We don't want your tie. We want this year was Broadway lights.
Yes.
So people dressed up in different Broadway plays and everything else. And we had the Hogwarts there. We had different tables. We had Hair was there. We had Grease was there. We had the Wizard of Oz was there. Lion King was there, of course. So many, and we just have a good time. It's to loosen up the event. People get dressed up, and the centerpiece is equally so.
Yeah, and it's always a lot of fun to see the different creativity that people come with. I remember a few years back, I don't remember what the theme was, but there were some volunteers that dressed up as the folks from Dodgeball,
Yes,
the Dodgeball the movie, and what phenomenal outfits they had. It's so much fun. So, how did the event go? You mentioned that you had over 300 guests meet your fundraising goal?
We had our best fundraising year in 10 years for Celebrity Waiter.
Fantastic.
So, a nod to our sponsors. We had almost 30 sponsors this year. They were just fantastic to support us, and the individuals that came to buy live auction items as well. So, the community really came together to support us this year, and we needed it more than ever. So, we're very, very grateful. And also, we got a chance at the time to say thank you to our volunteers. Yeah. We had some fire heroes in the audience, too, and we got some nice recognition from our dignitaries. So, it really came together just for a fun. It isn't a long night, but it's a fun night.
No, very, very fun. And some of the folks have so much fun. They do drag it on a little bit. I know, you got to much fun at the
we
end of
own
the
the
night.
place. We can stay long. It's okay.
Now, one of the things that I look forward to every year at the Celebrity Waiter event is you take a few moments and kind of run down this year in numbers and who you've served and what services you've provided, kind of number by number. Can you share some of that with our listeners today?
Sure. I mean, every day it's 2,400 meals a day. And that's exciting. That continues to grow. And Bella Vita continues to grow in just terms of the meals.
Yeah.
We're contacting almost 10,000 seniors every year by the phone.
Okay.
And we call them and touch base with them, doing wellness checks and everything else. Our classes are the largest we've ever had, and they're going into overflow capacity.
Wow.
So the numbers just keep rolling out, and our goal is to make sure we have quality services for everybody.
Okay, so the complex that you built just a few years ago, it's needing to grow.
It's needing to grow. And right now what we're doing is we're actually developing a new series for those that are homebound so they can take advantage of our services, and we're going to stream it in right into their homes.
Yeah.
All of our services.
And that's one of the things that folks don't always think of is, you serve so many different people that come to the center, but there's so many folks out there that have pretty extreme needs that can't come to the center.
Right. There's almost 1,000 that we know of that we deliver meals to, so we're going to be getting our service. Our Zumba class is going to be into their homes in the next couple of weeks.
That's because I hear the stories all the time about there's a lot of folks that kind of some of the only human interaction they have on a regular basis is your volunteer staff that comes with their lunch every day.
Is that meal delivery? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we always say it's more than just a lunch. It's a lunch, but it's also a companionship.
Yeah, definitely. And so that was a Celebrity Waiter and an amazing event. And then you and I were at a fun event just last Friday night, talking about the Man and Woman of the Year event, where there's quite a bit of confetti and fireworks at the table we were sitting at. Before we get to that, can you set that up for our listeners who aren't as familiar? What is the Man and Woman of the Year event?
Man and Woman is a great thing. It started 65, I believe, in the city of Santa Cruz to honor men and women of the year who have done extraordinary things as volunteers and volunteers for the community. And the list that they describe of each person who's won every year is amazing. Your mom is one of them.
Yes.
Elizabeth Hopp is one of them, and so many other people in town that give back. It's to recognize them. So what happens every year is nonprofits nominate a volunteer who's done extraordinary work for themselves and for the community, and that's a culminative night where they announce a winner for man and woman of the year for each year.
And what I love is the focus on volunteerism. This isn't your popularity contest of prom king and prom queen. This is, folks that are have really stood out among their peers as volunteers within the community. And we had a couple of previous winners sitting at your table.
Sure. Yes,
Yeah.
we had your mom, Elizabeth Hopp, was there,
Yeah.
joining us at the table, previous winner, and Lena McFerrin, my partner, she was there,
Yep.
and having a good time, and also honoring, who's next, but also honoring all those nominees, Matt. When I looked at the nominees,
Yes.
I told them the community needs you. They need you now. They need you for the future. Those nominees for those nonprofits. Santa Cruz is in good shape for a long time.
We
with
really
what
are.
what I saw with the leadership coming up and the volunteer perspective.
Absolutely. And the last couple of years, it's maybe it's just that I'm getting older, but it seems like the folks that we're honoring are getting younger. So
Yes,
that's
they
great
are.
to
You're
see.
getting older, but they're also getting younger. That's okay.
But and you're right. And one of the things that I noticed, it seems like the nominees every year are a crop of such incredibly unassuming people that really do kind of shy away from the limelight. They just want to get in and help out. They're not looking for glory.
It really is nice.
However, as I mentioned, there were some fireworks at the table we were sitting at. Can you share with our who stood out among those who stand out, the Woman of the Year for 2025?
Sure. Yeah, that was the Senior Center's nominee was Jackie Hartman, and
Yep.
Jackie Hartman selected as the Woman of the Year this year, so we're very proud of her. She's done work in the community for over 26 years,
Yes.
serving the Santa Cruz Valley community with the Special Olympics, with Bridge to Home, Cell Ranch, and of course with the Senior Center. She led us during the COVID years,
Yes.
and the biggest drive-through lunch program for senior centers in the entire county. She continues on with Celebrity Waiter events for the last 3 years as a co-chair. It just does so much for the community. So we
Yeah.
are so proud of her and so proud that she was able to be, Woman of the Year for 2020.
And
Josh on the men's side does
yes,
extraordinary
Josh
work
Rivas.
as well. Yes,
Yeah, Josh Rivas won Man of the Year, and congratulations to him. He's
absolutely.
volunteered for dozens of different nonprofits around the community, nominated by Seroptimus International. And all of your volunteers step up, whether they can help out for an hour or two a week or more. But Jackie really is kind of one of those full-time volunteers. She seems to be at the center all the time.
She is, and she gives from the heart, and she cares about each individual, and that's what I think makes Jackie special.
Yeah.
It's one person at a time, and she brings her daughter Kerry on her route with her. Her husband volunteers, her son volunteers. That whole family does a lot of good work, and it doesn't fall far from the tree.
Absolutely. And so you truly are fortunate. Our community is really fortunate to have Jack and so many others volunteering. So one more time, congratulations to Jackie Hartman, Santa Clarita Valley Woman of the Year 2025, and Josh Rivas, Santa Clarita Valley Man of the Year 2025. So we talked about Celebrity Waiter, which, just passed. Do you have any other events? I think you touched on one of them just a minute ago. Different fundraising efforts or events coming up?
Yeah, sure. We have what we do every single month. We've been doing it for 55 weekends over 2 years. Is our concert series.
Yeah,
and that continues to sell out very quickly. So we got the Blue Breeze Band coming in a couple of weeks. We have Jimmy Buffett tribute band coming in. We got a Johnny Cash tribute band coming in. So we have a heck of a lineup. You can check out our website for that.
Okay.
And the tickets are $10 to get in.
Right.
There's still tickets for the Blue Breeze Band. These guys are so good. And the saxophone player, last time I saw a saxophone player dancing around in our parking lot during the COVID years.
Oh,
playing their music.
Yeah.
And now he's inside the grand ballroom. We're not worried about the heat. We're inside the ballroom. We're going to be cool. And there's going to be about 400 people packed in just celebrating life, hanging out and having a nice time on a weekend.
Fantastic. So $10 tickets for some of the premier acts.
Oh, yeah.
around.
These are tribute bands. Our main producer is Mr. Rock and Roll.
Okay.
Brian Burns out of L.A. He was on the radio for over 30 years, and he gets us all of our acts for us. They are professional acts. We spend some money on them.
Yeah.
And we bring in some good and seniors to have a good time.
Fantastic.
And to be welcome there. That's an important part, that there's not a lot of barriers to get to the concerts.
So that's a question that I did have. Are these concerts open for the seniors only?
No, they're open. They're open to the community, but they usually sell out with the seniors very quickly.
Okay.
So we don't advertise too much on them. But
Okay.
they're definitely available. And if you know a senior in the community that needs a night out, this is a heck of a good night out.
Yeah. Geesh. And then you guys have got something called Trips and Tours coming up. I was excited to see this. Can you tell our listeners about it?
Trips and Tours, we do that every quarter. We just came back from the Ronald Reagan Museum. The Dead Sea Scrolls were there, and we had a team go out there. So we're going to be organizing more and more events throughout the year. Again, low expense, in our buses with our drivers, and taking about 16 seniors at a time to different activities throughout the community. So Trips and Tours is going to expand. So we're looking forward to just how else can we serve, and that kind of our constant question to the community and to our seniors is, what else do you want us to do? And we're happy to take chances and do it.
Well, I do have a suggestion. My phone's been blowing up here, Kevin, and somebody texted in a question, says I'm not sure what it means, but this listener says Frogger and are almost seniors too, and I noticed that today is Card Friday. You mentioned lots of card games going on today on Friday. Do you have any classes for shooting dice or playing?
If there are, I don't know about them, and that's okay.
Okay, good.
What I don't know is okay.
Okay, fantastic. The Santa Clarita Senior Center, y'all are doing amazing things to provide services for the seniors. You mentioned you've got over 200 volunteers. But the services continue to grow, so your need continues to grow. How can folks who are interested in supporting our seniors get connected, and whether helping out through a monetary donation or, coming in and working a shift?
Sure. No, we always need volunteers, especially for our banquet hall and our Meals on Wheels cars that go out every day. And also just supporting us financially. You can go to the website anytime. There's a big Donate Now button on the front page.
There you go.
Hit that.
Gotta have it.
Help us provide services for your loved one for the future, because you're really making an investment for the future for your loved ones, and that's what we want to keep going.
Fantastic. So one more time, the website?
SCVseniorcenter.org, brand new website.
Fantastic. So, Kevin, usually when I share with my guests about my struggles of having to share my radio show with my stupid big brother, they're very sympathetic, and they stick around and they'll play trivia with us. But, Kevin, you are more than sympathetic. You are empathetic to my plight, because you actually feel my pain. While Mom makes me share my radio show with Big T, you share with Big T, which I think is just beyond the pale. But, since we feel each other's pain, like two drunks in a pub, arms around each other, singing the blues, swaying away, why don't we do this together? Can you stick around and play trivia and put up with my big brother for a few minutes?
I'm ready to put up with him. I'm good.
Fantastic. MacDonald, CEO of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. Log onto their website and make a big donation right now, because he's about to deserve it. Big T joins us when we get back, and you can play too. Do you like trivia? Come stick around and play with us. I am Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KS. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, Santa Clarita Valley's favorite show. I am your host, Matt Watson. I am joined this morning by Kevin MacDonald, CEO of the Senior Center of Santa Clarita. Kevin, thanks for sticking around. We got engineer Andrew in the room.
Good morning.
Good to see you, Delgado. You're doing a great job on those morning shows, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, starting to hear around town, Menji who? Anyways, it is now time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Big T is an executive and a philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and dog dad, and member of the governing board of the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center. What a guy. Maybe that's why he is Mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Matty. Good morning, Kevin.
Good morning.
Hey, Tony, I know you're a busy guy. Work keeps you busy, and you do some volunteering and your church. But you volunteer your time to support the Senior Center in a lot of different ways, Tony. Why is the Senior Center a local nonprofit that you choose to give your time and money to?
Something, Matt, that I've loved for a long time, and I've got 6 senior parents that are in Santa Clarita, and it's important to them. Our whole families have volunteered to them. Eric delivered meals during COVID. Scott and Hannah have both served meals on Thanksgiving. It's just a really, really well-ran organization. The seniors that are there, they just feel comfortable. Scott used to come home every Thanksgiving just sharing stories of the new people that he met, the new friends that he made. It's just an awesome place.
Yeah. So absolutely. So our listeners need to log into the website now and make that donation. SCVSeniorCenter.org. So Big T, I know you've got some trivia questions, but lately you've been bringing life advice. I gotta be honest, we gotta come up with a name for it, Tony, because it's pretty twisted life. Have you got any tips for us today?
Yeah, I do. I want to give Kevin a quick shout out. Kevin spent some time with Hannah yesterday before she was interviewing the organization. And so, Kevin, thank you very much. You made Hannah's day. She really appreciated it.
Oh, she sounds like a wonderful lady. So you're raising her well, and we wish her luck in her future career.
Thank you much. I do have a question, though, about the Senior Center. You said it's Bella Vita or Bella Vita?
Bella Vita, V-I-D-A. Now, there's controversy on that. You could spell it both ways.
What language is that? Hey, be careful now.
Julie Sturgeon came up with it, so it's Italian.
Okay.
But it also can be converted to Spanish as well.
Okay, so it's like Spanglish, it's Spitalian.
It still means beautiful life either way.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter how you spell it, Tony, it's a beautiful life.
Yeah, it is a beautiful life. And Matt, did you say that it's Pope Louis XIV or Leo XIV?
It's Leo XIV.
Yeah, I said Louis earlier this morning.
You saw the Little League pictures of him, right?
I did.
And you've seen school pictures of him? Did you see the pictures of him at the frat parties at Villanova?
I did not see the Pope at the frat party, Tony.
Okay, we can cover that later. Back then at Villanova, they knew not to take pictures of those parties, but I did hear the first thing on Leo XIV is to get Caleb Williams some receivers and a running back.
All right.
So I do have some life tips, some life hacks, if you will. And in honor of Mother's Day this weekend, Jen, this is the perfect opportunity to get Mom to lower her expectations of you as well. What a great morning to ditch brunch and go play golf. There is nobody on the golf course.
Right on.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't advise it, but it's a good thought.
All right.
But
I like it.
But bring do the dishes, open Mom's door, tell her how much you love her, take care of Mom. Sabotage your siblings. It is the perfect time sitting at the table to ask your sibling if Mom has met the new guy or girl that they're dating. Let Mom take it from there.
Oh, good.
If your sibling's unemployed at the brunch table, if they ask them if they've had any traction on the job market. When they say no or some version of no, just say in front of Mom, well, I guess I got brunch again.
Wow. I got to tell you, Tony, I am very excited about the fact that you'll not be joining us at Wolf Creek for brunch on Sunday.
I would not. You can follow up with that comment about you paying for brunch with a comment, since I'm supporting Mom, you're the first up on diaper duty.
Oh, jeez. Making friends at the table.
Jeez.
Make sure you get
on the reel, and Frogger, you know this has worked on airplanes. Bring mom some flowers, but also maybe bring some flowers or some chocolates for the server that's going to be serving you a breakfast. Just let him know, hey, thanks for making sure that mom has a good time. We appreciate you.
Oh,
Fantastic.
wow.
Fantastic.
Okay. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's better than your other ones.
All right.
Right?
Right? Hey, I take care of mom. Trust me, I know it. It's not just
Yes, he does. There's a reason he's mom's favorite.
All right. Ready for some trivia?
We are. Kevin, you remember the rules. Tony's going to throw out some questions. You hit your buzzer by calling out your name. Those of you playing along at home, you can get the drop on us. You don't have to shout out. You just shout out the answer and see if you can beat us. Kevin's a smart guy, and Andrew and I and Jen are no slouches either. So good luck with that. But try and beat us.
Throw out a couple of softballs just to let Kevin know the water's warm. So who serves the best Mother's Day brunch in the Santa Cruz Valley?
Frogger.
Frogger.
But no, I'm giving it to Kevin.
Wolf Creek, of course.
Kevin. Wolf Creek, of course.
Absolutely. Tony, they've got on their brunch menu now, they've got crab cake Benedict.
Oh, I had that last weekend. Oh, my.
Yeah, incredible. Anyways,
It is very good.
1 point for Kevin in more than one way.
Correct. For no points, name 3 members of the Santa Cruz Senior Center.
For no points.
Frogger.
Jeez.
I'm going Tony Watson, Elizabeth Hopp, Sturgeon. That's 3.
That's 3. That'll work. All right. Who's the New York Knicks all-leading scorer with 23,000 points?
Jen.
I'd say Andrew.
Jen.
Is his last name Ewing? Erwin Ewing?
Patrick. We'll give it to you, Patrick
Yep.
Ewing.
Yes.
Good
I could
pull,
see
There
it.
you go.
I could see his
Okay.
face. I know exactly.
Yeah.
If he walked in here, I know exactly who he was.
Straight from Georgetown.
All right.
And if you his face, I'm sorry for that.
It's in my dreams.
Not
every
a pretty
night.
man.
Making that 3-pointer.
So there's someone in the room that wanted some Knicks trivia. I guess not. When was the last time the Knicks won a championship?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
It was a long time ago. That was, was it 1986?
Anybody else?
Kevin, 73.
1973 is correct.
Whoa.
When was the last
Okay.
time? When was the last time the New York Mets won a championship?
Oh, wow.
Kevin, 86.
Kevin. 86 is correct.
Okay.
Jeez.
Wow, that's been quite a drought for both of those
Yes,
teams.
it's been a long-
Other trivia question. Did you know that since the Cowboys have won a Super Bowl, we've had 4 popes?
That's nice. That goes back to in 1989, which football player and later failed politician in 2022 was traded by the Cowboys to the Vikings for 4 players and a ton of draft picks?
Oh, okay.
Herschel Walker.
Kevin.
Oh,
Herschel
yes.
Walker's
Yeah.
correct. Nice pull, Kevin.
Good pull, yeah.
Yep. Where do the Knicks play their home games?
Frogger.
Frogger.
In the Garden.
Madison Square
Madison
Garden.
Square Garden, yeah.
of Madison.
Where do the Mets play their home games?
Oh,
Kevin,
Andrew.
City Field.
City Field is correct.
yeah.
Oh, MetLife.
Used to be
Who's
Shea
the
Stadium.
highest paid player on the New York Mets?
Frogger.
Frogger.
I'm drawing a blank on the first name. Soto. Juan Soto.
Soto's correct. We'll give it to you.
What has happened to you,
Who's the
Soto?
highest paid player on the Knicks?
Oh,
Ooh. Andrew. Jalen.
Andrew.
Jalen Brunson.
Incorrect. Anybody else got it?
Nope.
Carl Anthony Towns.
oh, the cat.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, trivia.
Yes, please.
I'm going to give you the name of the college, and you tell me what their mascot is.
All
We
right.
got a couple of them. Cal.
Andrew. The
Was that Kevin first?
No, that was Andrew.
the Golden
Andrew.
Bears. The Bears.
I'm sorry?
The Golden Bears.
Golden Bears, correct.
Bears.
Bears.
Colorado.
Frogger. Mm.
Frogger.
No, Andrew.
The Buffalo.
Buffalo's correct. Colorado State.
Andrew. The
Rams is correct. Ithaca College.
oh, okay.
Frogger. The Pillbugs.
Frogger. It's the Bombers.
Okay. I was close.
University of Dayton.
Kevin,
Ooh,
Flyers.
so nice.
Flyers.
Rudy
is
the
correct.
Rudy.
Washington.
Frogger.
Andrew.
Frogger.
That would be the Huskies.
San Diego State.
Andrew.
Kevin.
Andrew.
The Aztecs.
Aztecs is correct. Ohio State.
Frogger. Guys.
Buckeyes is correct. All right, Jen, we're moving away from that.
I'm learning new
been a little
things, so
quiet.
it's good.
Yes.
What numerically named film in 1995 about two detectives tracking
Jen.
down a serial killer?
Oh.
7.
Jen. 7. Don't look in the box.
Great
Don't
movie.
look in the box.
What were the names of the two rappers who were the focal points of the East Coast West Coast
Andrew.
pop rivalry? Andrew.
Tupac. And
Tupac and Biggie Smalls, yeah.
How you living, Biggie Smalls?
Inmate.
The fictional Atlanta interior decorating firm Baker Associates was the center of the action
Jen.
for what?
Oh.
Jen.
Designing Women.
Designing Women is correct.
Good pull.
Now 31 years old, Spencer Eldon is most famous as the baby swimming towards a dollar
Frogger.
bill on the iconic. Go ahead.
That would be Nirvana. Never mind.
Nirvana's Nevermind. Good pull.
Did you know his family was paid $500 for that?
Jeez.
$500.
$500?
Yeah.
Dang. If you were a kid in the 90s, when you weren't looking for Waldo in the pages of a book, you might have been wondering where in the world
Frogger.
Andrew.
Frogger?
Carmen Sandiego.
Carmen Sandiego's correct. Irish singer-songwriter Sinead O'Connor received a lifetime ban from Saturday Night Live for ripping up
Jen.
a photograph of Jen.
The Pope. Ripped up the Pope. Picture.
Of John
of
Paul
the
II.
Pope.
And Linger were
Jen.
in 1990. Jen.
The Cranberries.
Cranberries is right.
I just want to say, we've got a tight race here. We've got 6-5-6-5.
Ooh, baby. You want to stay with 90s trivia?
Do it.
Yeah.
Hey, I had it all last week before I flaked on you.
Yeah, I know. He
Oh,
just didn't
yeah.
call in. Yeah, remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Jen, you were mad.
I heard you were going to let me have
right.
it.
How dare you do your job?
Yeah, I said Tony's got an important business meeting to attend to, and Jen said nope, and he flaked.
I did.
All righty. What popular band of young men released the hit music video "As Long as You Love Me" in 1997? Jen.
The Backstreet Boys.
Backstreet Boys is correct. They're back, you know.
They are back. They never left.
All right.
What 1996 romantic comedy was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and was the origin of the following quotations? Show me the money.
Jen.
Frogger.
Andrew.
Help me. I missed who was first.
It was Jen.
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire. Also, You Had Me at Hello.
Oh.
Yes.
Her life tragically cut short in 1995 by what
Frogger.
born one name?
That was Andrew.
Selena.
Andrew?
Selena.
Selena, the queen of Tejano music. What space telescope became notorious for its technical? Frogger. Hubble. Badly installed mirror. What Green Bay Packers quarterback from the 1990s, 2000s played the
Jen.
record 200? Jen.
Oh, I thought that was you, Frogger.
Okay. Brett Favre.
Oh, sorry.
There you go.
Brett Favre.
Favre.
297 straight games. What actor hosted the Academy Awards a whopping 6 times during the 90s?
Jen.
Kevin.
Kevin, go ahead.
Jen.
Crystal. Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal's correct.
Nice.
Who's hosted the Academy Awards more times than Billy Crystal?
Oh.
Crystal has 6. This other person has 9.
Frogger.
Frogger.
Is it Steve Martin?
Incorrect. Bob Hope.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting. Did not know
What's the
that.
name of the fictional 57-carat blue diamond that appears in the movie Titanic?
Jen.
Ooh, Andrew.
Jen.
The Heart of the Ocean.
The Heart of the Ocean's correct.
I've got 8. Jen's got 8. Kevin's got 7. Andrew's got 6. And we've got time for 2 more questions, Tony.
Perfect. In 1997, Wolf American to vote from where?
Frogger.
Andrew. Oh.
Frogger.
From space.
He voted from space.
Yes, he did.
For Harry and Lloyd, every day is a no-brainer is the
Andrew.
tagline on the poster. Andrew.
Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber.
Our pets' heads are rolling off.
Wow, what a great game. I got 9, Jen got 8, Kevin got 7, Andrew got 7. Great job, you guys. Hey, great job, Big T. Thanks for, I guess, making it this week. Jeez. Alrighty. We also want to thank our guests, our lead academic coach with iLeadonline, Cindy Williams. Remember, iLeadonline.org for free public online courses. Free for the summer as well, iLeadonline.org. CEO of the Santa Senior Center, Kevin MacDonald, producer Sarah, engineer Andrew, engineer Jen, and thank you for listening. Remember, friends, life is hard, but we're all here to help each other along. Be well, do good, and donate to the Santa Clarita Valley Senior Center, scvseniorcenter.org. And join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I am Matt Watson, and this is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.